Good evening. It is Longhaultanker, straight razor shaving with Longhaultanker, and it is approximately 8:20. That would be 2020, 100 hours on the 12th of August, 2022, and we're going to end the week where we started the week, and that is in the driver's lounge, men's restroom at my home terminal. Got in just about an hour ago, and I decided I'm gonna go ahead and sleep over on the yard. I don't like getting home late. My wife doesn't like me getting home late. And so it'd be 9 o'clock, 9:30 before I got home from the yard here. And so we just go ahead and lay over here and sleep in the truck tonight and then go home tomorrow morning and have all weekend. We found problems on the truck. It's spitting oil from somewhere. Mechanics don't come back on duty until Monday morning. And so I'm going to have a good weekend off. Got a doctor's appointment on Monday afternoon. And so we're just going to lay over here and have our leisure at home over the weekend. And so let's go ahead and move to the equipment. We got a rather eclectic blend of nationalities in play tonight. And we're going to go with my prima numero uno. Let's see if I can butcher that some more. Razor in my collection, and that is the Boker Count Engelbert II, beautiful honey horn scales, 3-pin, gold etched. Got nice gold on the sculpted spine, and this is just this is my numero uno prima razor in my collection, and it was finished on a hard black, surgical black, if you will, Dan's whetstone, Arkansas whetstone, and that's nation of origin, Germany, Boker, Germany. Okay. And for our soap this evening, we're going to finish the week. Last time in usage in this rotation for the Martin de Candre Rose, and it has served the purpose very well. I'm going to try a little experiment tonight. You'll see here in just a little bit. And so just a wonderful lathering soap with a quite a strong rose scent. For our brush this evening, we're going to be using the Simpson Chubby 3. Oh, by the way, the nation of origin on the Martin de Candre, as if it weren't obvious, is France. And so we're using the Simpson Chubby 3 Super Badger. I think I see a bristle, yeah, right there. And so nation of origin is Great Britain. And so, like I said, we got a nice mix, the big three, you might say, of Germany, France, and the UK. And there's plenty of good soaps and brushes that come out of the US. The mass production razors, the big name razors, not so much. You can find some early American vintage American steel that are pretty good. Anyway, here's my little experiment tonight. We've got a little bit of water floating on top here, and it's always produced a nice suds on the face. And so I'm going to go with I'm not going to overload the brush. I'm just going to put a couple swirls from the jar on the brush with what I've got on the face now. See, normally I have this soaking for the duration of a shower, and so I get a little bit more off. So, but I tell you what, let's do this. We're going to put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. just that little bit. And if I need more, I'll get more. Now, I don't know how many seconds that was, but it wasn't 30 seconds. It wasn't a minute. It was probably less, or right about, I'm going to say it was less than 10 seconds. Somebody can time it if they want to. But look at that lather I'm getting off. Now, if I did that every single time, that's one jar would probably last me the rest of my life. Just 10 little swirls, 10 seconds worth. That would probably, and look at that. Now, I don't know, we're going to find out how long the lather will last. Will it last 3 passes and a head shave? Don't know, but we'll see. And the Martin de Candre always rehydrates very nicely as it dries upon the face. Look at that. Got all over the handle, which I'm not, I see a lot of guys that will just let it litter up the handle, and I'm not like that. I want a clean handle when I reach down for it. Okay, so let's get going here with the Count Engelbert Boker, and dry my hands off. Look at that lather I got off of 10 swirls off the top. Before the shave, I took my clippers and buzzed down my head. No shower tonight. I'll do that when I get home tomorrow. Now, earlier in the week, in the last few videos, in this roll-up, in the last 7 shaves, you saw my Thiers Assard buffalo. I called it buffalo razor, round point, 6/8, with an acrylic handle, kind of a fake tortoise sort of thing. I'm going to refresh that when I get home. Got some dead skin issues going on right there. And I did ride about 600 miles today, Woke up this morning in Jonesboro, Arkansas. And it's approximately, I think I ended the day with about 1 hour left on my drive clock, so it's about 10 hours. Okay. I took my leisure getting in today, my 600 miles, because I knew I had a guaranteed place to park tonight by coming back to the yard. And so I decided to sleep in a little bit this morning. I got up about 7, got rolling about 8:30. And just took my time and had a good time. The hardest part was coming through Little Rock in that construction zone on I-30. And if you know anything about road conditions around the country, that was probably the worst part of it for the whole week going up to Pennsylvania and back. And I had, talking about road events, in my last video, my buddy saw the police chase that ended up with the guy running off the road. Had my own little coming through Texarkana on I-49, that interchange there where you move from Interstate 30 to I-49 coming south. A big flatbed, I say big, no bigger than normal or any other flatbed, empty, no cargo on the flatbed. And it was one of these that was equipped, and not all flatbeds are equipped, so with steel cable. Apparently on some sort of, I don't know if it was on a hand crank or a motorized crank, or just what exactly, up toward the front end. But all of a sudden I heard a crack, and he was passing me, and he was in the left lane, I was in the right lane, and I heard a loud cracking sound. Not a pop, not a bang, but like a crack. Anyway, and all of a sudden I saw this length of steel cable start unwinding from the front of his trailer, coming back toward the rear of his trailer, and it extended out past the back end of his trailer. So there was a good length of it. And I backed off because, what was it? Die Hard 3, there's a couple of scenes in there, I think, where they jump off the bridge and go down to the cargo ship below. They've got there's an interesting scene with steel cabling. And I didn't want to be that guy that got decapitated or cut in two by steel cabling coming through my windshield. So as soon as I saw that cabling unwinding and getting back toward the end of the rear of his trailer, I backed off real quick. I put at least, I don't know, 300 yards or so between me and him, and gave him plenty of room, so if he needed to get from the left lane over to the shoulder, he could do it. And that cabling got tangled up in his rear tandems on the left side, and a section of it did break off, but it fell silent pretty quick. I usually watch a vehicle coming up behind me, always, being aware of my surroundings. And I'm not perfect at it, and I'm like a lot of people. My situational awareness is usually pretty good about what's going on around me and in my mirrors and so forth. Like I said in a previous video, you've got to drive for yourself and you got to drive for others as well. But you're not always perfect at it. You're not always paying complete attention to everything all the time. Sometimes you're listening to the radio or talking to somebody on the phone, hands-free, of course, with a headset. But I usually try to pay attention to what's coming up behind me, what's attempting to pass me. And my guard is always up. My guard is always up. When someone's attempting to pass me, until after they've passed me and they've gotten well clear of me and gotten back into the right lane well ahead of me. Now, if they're in my kill zone, and that's what I call it, if they're in my kill zone, my antenna is still buzzing until they're clear of my kill zone. Sometimes they'll come over back to the right lane way too early. Cut right in front of me, within 10 or 15 yards. That's not acceptable. But what do you do about it? I can't kill them. Yeah, that's a truck driver joke. If he was close enough to him, you might push him into the shoulder, which I'm not above doing, so I better not say that too loud, but if they're, you know, if they're going 66, 67, 68 miles an hour, I can't catch them anyway because I'm limited at 64, 65. That was my first dip of water, if I'm not mistaken, on this. 10 swirls. Can you look at that lather? Look at that lather. 10 swirls. So that was exciting for a little while, watching that cable spool off and get tangled up in his tandems, and I'm sure he had quite a mess. I'm just not sure the kind of flatbed that would ordinarily carry steel cable like that up on a spool with a hand crank, motorized crank, whatever. So if you're watching me on YouTube, thank you. Hit like and subscribe, leave a comment. If you so desire, be respectful, or I will delete it. Then go on over to the Shaving Candre and join in over there. Make an account. All kinds of forums going on over there that you can participate in. I saw where we, Dave and Barber Dave and the rest of them announced a gold $66, not restoration, but when you take it and carve it into something that you want to carve it into, it's a contest. So go over and check it out. I can't think of the precise name right now, or word. I want to give a special shout out to what I believe is a Greek fellow who has resumed making videos. Tinos, Tinos, with an N in front of it, so capital N, Tinos, Stamadiades, I believe is the pronunciation. At least that's the spelling, Stamadiades, you know, like a Greek name, come on. And then my usual fellows and my crew over at the Shaving Candre, Handle Barber Dave and Major Rich and Barber Dave and Bill M and Lukey 3262 and the Cutthroat Journey and Love to Shave. And I want to throw in, start remembering this fine gentleman, and that is Graybeard 57. There are several foreign, non-U.S. fellas that I watch, and Tinos, I'm going to call him Tinos, one of them, but I love watching, I don't know if these guys are commercial or not, but one of my favorites is Maddie Lindholm in Sweden, and Mr. G in the UK, who's on holiday this month. He had a nice goatee that I don't remember what his reasons were, but they were temporary. He shaved off his goatee, which was interesting. I mean, he just did it with clippers. He didn't make a production out of it, but he said he was going to grow it back straight away after he got back from his holiday. I don't know where he went. UK up, I think, Scotland, maybe. I don't know. But these guys are fun to watch as much as my regular crew are fun to watch. I made mention that I was going to do a honing video, or no, that I was going to hone my buffalo razor, and I will probably record that. Ooh. I bought a new iPhone stand that sits flat and upright. I guess it has a weighted bottom. And I'm tempted to do it out on the patio at home, which I got to figure out all of the logistics for water and how I'm going to position myself. I know where I'm going to position myself, I think. I got two likely spots. One of my other favorite guys I like to watch, though he's not done many videos recently, and that's Anthony Esposito, the Stallion. And he often does, sometimes, I say often, sometimes does an outdoor. Outdoor shave on his patio. Yep, old Engelbert's doing a fine job tonight. When you have as much time as I do at night in the truck, you watch a lot of shaving videos. Well, you know, you want to, at least me, what I want to do is, I watched a new guy last night that I'd never seen before, and he doesn't have very many, I don't remember his name or anything about it, but I'd never seen him before. And you know, you want to see who's doing what, and sometimes you can tell by the comments the people they're connected with, and nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Well, we're back. I had a disruption there. One of my alarms, my 9 o'clock alarm went off. Why do I have a 9 o'clock alarm? To remind me of my nighttime pills, that's all. Yeah, I take pills too. So I shaved my head, I say shaved, I buzzed my head, my hairline, and I'll do a head shave here after, off camera, and doing a face shave now. So when I get home tomorrow morning, all I got to do is take a shower after I get some of the little honeydews done that my wife wants me to take care of. She's already made, and they're not hard. She never makes anything real hard for me. And if it's very hard, I say, call a handyman. You know, I'm done with doing stuff, you know. I am done. I don't cut the grass. That is not a relaxing pastime for me. That is absolute drudgery, and I'm not as young as I used to be either, which you may not be able to tell with my fabulous appearance. That was a joke. I can see the comments now from my usual guys. Okay. Very nice. Nice rose scent coming off of the MDC. And next week on the road, straight razor shaving with Longhaultanker. That's me. We'll be using the Candre legumes, the citrus one. I think it's legumes is the correct pronunciation. And that'll be number 5 out of 5. And then we're going to move on to some of those Barrister and Mann and A&E and Sterling Soap Company soaps that I bought a few weeks ago. I've been using, when I'm at home, I've been using them, especially if I'm off camera, I've been using them. Look at this soap. Now, I don't know if the other soaps are this strong, but you know, it's a little thin, but I'm nearing the end of my shave. You know what? Let's do something. Let's put a little dab of water. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we did 10 more. That's 20 swirls. And we'll look at this. Look at this. Now I can almost, I know I've got more. This is far less than I usually use when I really load up the brush, as you've seen me do in almost every video that I've used the Candre. And why use more when you don't have to? And I'm just experimenting here, but look at what I'm getting. So far, the first 10 swirls did fine. Got 10 more swirls. Here as I get ready to finish up I got the against the grain, south to north, and then the second half, I got to do this part down here. Look at that, look at that. Look at that, look at that. My own little experiment, using less, not more, on the Candre, and I got a hint of this the last couple of times I've been at the beginning, you know, where I got the water on the soap and take the water off and rub on my face there, and I get a little something off of it. And I'm going, if I get that much off the water, that I'm soaking on the jar. You can't really call it a puck, can you? I don't know the way they got it poured into there, into that jar. But you know, pour it on the jar. You got water on the jar on the top. Trying to figure out what to do next. Yeah, I think I'll do this swirl test on other soaps that I have, like the A&E, like the Bear Stearns Man. and see if I can get away with doing less and not more in loading up the brush. Because look what I got here, 20 swirls, that is 10 and 10. Yes, very nice. Well, if you followed me this week on my journeys, you know that I went to Sagertown, Pennsylvania. Several shaves along the way. I think there was about 4 of them. Not counting this one. This would be 5, I think. 4 or 5. Yeah, whatever. And you'll see those on YouTube or the shaving Candre. And that's a load that I'd be happy to do again. It was real easy in and out. They held me for barely an hour and a half, maybe a little more. They unloaded me into 500-gallon totes. They had 20, 25 of them already laid out in a grid waiting for me to come in. I like that. Yep, that feels pretty good. All right, let's rinse it off and see what we got. Well, for the second segment, we're at 23 minutes, but we had a momentary interruptus, and I don't know how long the first segment was, but it wouldn't surprise me that we're pushing on to an hour. We still have lots of lather on the brush, plenty for the head shave that I'm going to do here in a little bit. Okay. Yeah, right there. Even that one's not too bad. that constitute flat blading? I don't know. We will let it go at that. I don't know enough about, you know, your face is moist and wet. It's relaxed. The pores are open, as whatever that means. And then when the shave is done and your face dries and the pores close, those whisker follicles are supposed to retract a little bit. I don't know how much. And so you always get confused. I get confused on, you know, you still feel a little something there, but then when the face is dry and you go back to the truck, put your aftershave on, for me, you know, it's just as pure baby butt smooth as you can get. All right. For our equipment, eclectic international configuration, Boker, Germany, Count Engelbert II, beautiful, beautiful gold razor here. Just as I said at the intro, this is the numero uno ultima of my collection right here. And for the soap, we use the Martin de Candre Rose, which is a fabulous soap. And for the brush, we use the Simpson Chubby 3 Super Badger, which is just fabulous. This is quickly becoming one of my favorite overall brushes. And consider what I did tonight with using minimal soap, minimal lather, and still I've got this much left on my brush. And so use that on the old head shave. That's it for tonight. Thank you. I intend to do a shave on Sunday morning, which may or may not be recorded, and we'll see what happens after that. Thanks for watching. We'll see you down the road.